If you guys don't know who this is Taja Pickett. She is a content creator, influencer, amongst other things. That's just one of the things that she does. But she recently posted this video. It's been like an ongoing thing. Apparently, I had to go research it before I did this because I didn't really know anything about it. um, but apparently, she was in a relationship with this dude named Carlos Harris Jr. Carlos Harris Jr. has a pretty big, substantial platform on TikTok and on YouTube, as far as I know. He could be on IG too, but I know he has a pretty big platform on TikTok and on YouTube. And this is her. I mean, the name of the video is like addressing the lies or something to that effect. Carlos Harris Jr. apparently is out here lying on this woman. They have a child together, and he's been still being abusive towards her, even though they're not in a relationship together. So, yeah, this is her. This is her story. This is a part of her story, I guess.
Okay, guys, it's 10 p.m. at night. I'm still in my scrubs. I just got back from school, and now I am being forced to address more lies that are being told about me on the internet because now my child's father has chosen to get onto YouTube and make over an hour video completely defaming me like he has been doing for months. I gave birth to Leia on February 6th of last year. I left him 10 days after I gave birth to Leia. I left. I left. Literally that same day when I left, he was texting my phone, calling me hundreds of times, threatening to kill me, threatening to kill my family, saying he had all the addresses he needs, sending me invoices, saying he was going to take it out of my apartment, my partnerships, all of the above. Those messages I'll go ahead and I will put here. One narrative that I see that he's trying to paint on the internet is that I am just this bitter baby mama and that I'm so mad that he moved on and this, that, and the third. I did not get left. And it was not a mutual breakup. That is not how that went. That is not how that went. It did not go that way. Like he always does, he came back to his senses and he emailed me saying that he missed the both of us and he asked for a picture. And as always, I felt bad for him. So I went ahead, I sent him a picture of Leia and I gave him an update. I will put that here. We had not been together. We were not together. And I know that a lot of people really confuse the timelines because Alea and I had flown out to LA from Sacramento to go to one of his friends' son's dedications, but we were not together. And I had even asked him to not include us in the YouTube videos because I did not want people to think that we were together. And what did he do anyways? I was in that YouTube video where I was shopping at H&M. He was making TikToks with Leia, making tea in the kitchen and things like that. We were not together. Social media is not real. We were not together. For the sake of keeping this video short and sweet and just putting everything that needs to be put in the video, I'm going to go ahead and cut to the month of April. However, he was able to come see Leia. I literally had set that precedent even when I left. Literally, we ended up getting into it. He was at the gym with his friends or something like that, and he came upstairs. He told me his friends were with him in his apartment. And I told him, I said, I forget what he had said, but I said, you're never honest with the people around you. You make it seem as if I'm crazy. Did you ever tell them that you put your hands on me? Then he turned to his right and he acted as if he was talking to the person next to him. He said their name. I don't want to say their name on my video. He said, I punched Taja. I hit Taja in the face. I pushed her down when she was 9 months pregnant.
Jesus. Jesus. This is, I've been talking about this all day, though, as far as like abuse is concerned, but like, this is, yeah, the men become abusive when women, but when women are pregnant, when they're at their most vulnerable, that's when men tend to become their most abusive. It's pretty disgusting when you think about it, because when a woman is at her most vulnerable, you would think a man would want to protect her, but instead he goes, "Oh, she can't defend herself. She's more tethered to me than ever, so I can get away with more." Unfortunately,
Nobody was in that apartment with that man. He was literally crashing out because I told him I did not want to be with him anymore, to the point where we were on FaceTime. He hung from the balcony. He hopped over the other side of the balcony. There's nowhere to stand on the other side of the balcony with me on the phone, crying and laughing, saying, "Let's do it together." Then dropped his phone. The phone hit the ground, completely upside down, went pitch black. I thought he died. I thought that he jumped. Not going to get into that. But you can imagine the emotional turmoil that I was going through, calling a mutual friend to get them to the apartment complex, calling the cops, having them do wellness checks just for them to send me a video of him putting a hoodie on and hopping on the elevator and leaving. All of that. And I still did not want to believe that he would go to that extent as to try and manipulate me, right? Like, I just really chalked it up to he just needs help. And I advocated for his need for help. I advocated for the fact that he just needs to be somewhere where he's loved and appreciated, and he just needed help. That's what I chalked it up to. So, with that brief summary of what happened in April, 2 or 3 days later, he texts me. I'm at my cousin's house. He says, "Hey, I'm going to be passing through Sacramento. Can I come see my daughter?" This man was just hanging from the balcony. I'm not going to give him another reason if he is having a mental break. Yeah, you can come see your daughter. You can come see your daughter. He comes, he sees his daughter the next day because he was passing through Sacramento, right? He ends up staying all the way, I think it was until like 10 or 11 p.m. at night. This is the conversation.
Hold on, I gotta read this. So it says, text me when you make it, please. I'll probably just stay at the Kempton and leave tomorrow. The halfway point is 6 hours, so I'll need to sleep. If you stay, I can give you stuff for the couch. We can keep that boundary. You'll probably find it more comfortable too. At least you can save on a room and be somewhere you're familiar with. See your daughter in the morning before leaving, etc. He said, this is really small. I can barely read this. Says, I'd honestly rather sleep in a hotel if I can't sleep next to her. It already sucks enough. I barely see her. What? What? What are you talking? He's about to go out. That's stupid. Why wouldn't you want to stay? What? You could have slept on the couch and like saw your daughter in the morning. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? This is crazy. She said, okay, I understand. I was thinking seeing her in the morning would be better than not, but I get it. Did you find a room? He said, I don't understand why I can't sleep in the room. That has nothing to do with us. Oh, so he's trying to sleep in the room with her. That was what that whole thing was about. Okay. Now I see the manipulation now because I was like, why is he acting like that? And then she said, it's more of a boundary thing for me. And also, she be laid out all over the bed and me too. We be diagonal. Wait. So the baby sleeps in the bed with her. He wants to sleep in the bed with them. I see. Absolutely not. He said at the end of the day, I just want to spend as much time as I can with her while I'm around. He's lying. So do you want to stay here and I give you things for the couch? She ain't having it. He said, why can't you just let me sleep with our daughter just one night before I leave? She says, it is nothing against you. I am just setting a boundary for myself that makes me feel comfortable. It's literally just the couch to sleep. Then we can hang out in the morning. Sounds fair to me. He's doing, look at the narcissistic, look at it. It's fine, I'll go. I guess you don't want me here. Nobody wants me around. I'll just leave. Like, then she asks him, did you find a room? And then he says, no, I'm drinking. I'm driving to where I'm going. Have a good night. Tell her good night. She said, whatever, that's so far. That's so far. Can you tell me when you made it, please? Bye, Taja. Now he's like, I got her chasing me, so he's happy. She said, why are you being this way? I just want to make sure you made it safe. It's unfair that you're trying to stress me out when I'm already dizzy and stressed all the time. Please don't do that. He said, it's unfair. I can't just take a night next to my daughter as well, but I get it. I'll see you around. Oh my God, this guy is fucking disgusting. She said, how is it how is it unfair? I literally said you can stay and to sleep on the couch. You're telling me to go against my boundaries. That is what's unfair. He said it's one night. And then she said, it doesn't matter. I asked that you just respected that. And I'm being respectful and mindful of you. Sorry. Typo. She said, he said, I don't know when I'll see her again. That's why I'm just asking. It's your daughter. Why don't you make it a priority? You live in LA. He lives in LA. She lives in Sacramento. Why don't you make it a priority? Does he have to live in LA, by the way? I mean, he's a vlogger. He can just live in Sacramento. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I work from home. You know, I'm a content creator. I don't need to live in LA. I live in LA right now. I live in Long Beach technically, but I live in LA right now. I don't need to live in Long Beach. If my wife moved to Kalamazoo, I would move to Kalamazoo. I mean, and that's me being able to work anywhere anywhere I want to. Even if I didn't, if she had to move for whatever reason, I wouldn't stop her and I would move with her. I'm not gonna let my kids, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm with my kids. Like if I destroyed the relationship and my wife left me and then she needed to live her life, after that, I would do everything I could to make sure that I didn't make her life any more hard or make my kids' life any harder. And I needed to show up for both of them. Like I don't, so this trying to wrap my brain around this type of behavior is really hard for me because I just don't understand it. Even though, when I say I don't understand it, I'm saying like it could never be me. So it is kind of hard for me to like empathize in this way. But it is what it is at this point. I mean, this shit is crazy. He said, I don't know when I'll see her again. So I'm just asking. Then she asked, what do you mean you don't know when you'll see her? This is all just classic narcissistic to be like, I don't even know when I'm gonna be around. Very much DDG coded. Um, another way to try to stress me out. This shit is so emotionally unfair to me. Stop saying and doing stuff like that. I literally go through so much mentally and emotionally.
That we ended up having after I realized that he really wasn't passing through and he really didn't have anywhere to go.
Oh, so he wasn't passing through. Wouldn't you know it? He said, all I'm asking is to sleep in the bed next to her. It would make me feel a lot better. She said, I'm dizzy as fuck having to deal with this recent shit. And I do everything on my own. You can at least work with me. What would make me feel better is if you stayed on the couch. I am constantly putting you first. Why can't you just work with me? Why do I always have to work with you? I'm trying my fucking best. I just drove here after a complete mental breakdown. Now he's weaponizing his mental breakdown that he caused himself. And then he said, I just drove here after a mental breakdown. Do you realize that I should be the one breaking down? I have been through so much and you continue to do more things that could literally send me into a spiral. I'm just going I'm just going back no contact after this. It's a lot less stressful on both of us. Jesus Christ, this guy. Oh my God, this dude is terrible. Wow, this guy is terrible. She said, and then turn around and ask me to again work with you and put my needs on the back burner. You can at least work with me. He says, Taja, I don't know where I'll even be in 2 days from now or a month. So I'm just being honest. Can you open the door, please? Fuck no. What the fuck does that mean? Bruh, you continue to subdue me, to continue to constant, to subdue me, to subjugate me, to constant. I'm thinking that's what she meant, to subjugate me, to constant emotional instability. The shit you say and do is so selfish.
Really didn't have anywhere to go. So this conversation happens. As you can tell, we are not together. I'm trying to set boundaries. I'm saying you can sleep on the couch. I want you to be able to see your daughter before you leave in the morning. Like, just.
So I don't know if this is like 100% the case, but it also sounds like he started to, abuse her after she was pregnant, by the way, which goes back to the things that we talk about all the time. Like, how was she supposed to know that he was abusive? How would she know that?
Just sleep on the couch. I was trying to set a boundary with him. Nothing was ever respected. There was never any meeting me in the middle ever. Not in the relationship. Not now. He ended up staying for an entire week at my mom's house and with me and Leia. And we allowed him to stay that long because me still thinking that mentally he needed help. I was like, it seems good for him to be here. Like, he seems happy. He seems to be doing good. Like, he was here. He was at my mom's house for an entire week. An entire week.
And this is the stuff that pisses me off about these scenarios because men love to be on that, like, oh, the baby mamas be so bitter and trying to keep me away from my kids and all of that shit. Whole time you can see in 4K what men be doing. All of this for what? Right? To what end? To what end is he using all of this manipulation for? Right? Is it just to see his daughter or is it something else? Let's see.
That mentally he needed help. I was like, it seems good for him to be here. Like, he seems happy. He seems to be doing good. Like, he was here. He was at my mom's house for an entire week. An entire week. He ended up leaving because there was an incident that happened after he was begging for me to get back with him, and I kept telling him no, to which the
Oh, there you go. So he was doing all of this just to get back with her. Okay. That tracks.
he then said when he kills himself, it was going to be my fault. After that, he was trying to plan a visit for us to fly to Texas to go see his dad, right? So that they can meet Leia.
Zero chance he was going to unalive himself. I don't believe he was ever seriously contemplating killing himself. I ain't gonna even hold you.
And all of the above. My entire postpartum period, I had been going through so much. I was constantly dizzy to the point I could not even stand for longer than 5 minutes. I'm going to the doctor. I'm trying to figure out what's wrong with me. They're sending me to go to hearing doctors. I'm taking hearing tests. Hearing is perfect. Like, people are really trying to figure out what's wrong with me. And so my mom was like, I really don't want you to get on a plane. Like, you're constantly dizzy. You're never feeling good. Like, why can't people ever come to you? Like, I'm constantly bending backwards for these people. So I had texted his dad's girlfriend that night and I told her, I was like,
Okay, no worries. I have an appointment at 10 here, so can talk before then. Happy Mother's Day. Thank you for all that you do. You're so appreciated and loved. I hope today is endlessly beautiful for you. Happy first Mother's Day, sweetheart. Look, look at what you have done, brought life into this world, and she will become just as wonderful as you. Counting down the days until I see you. I know I'm kind of nervous that I may have to cancel, though. I passed out today, and this is my second time passing out in the last few days from my dizziness. My mom is apprehensive about me getting on a plane or traveling in general while I'm constantly dizzy every day like this. I always feel so sick, dizzy, hot, and faint.
like, my mom doesn't feel comfortable with me going. Like, I've been so dizzy, this, that, and the third. She never texted me back. This was the number he called me from the last time we talked
Wow.
because his number was already blocked. He loves to say that he was the one who blocked me. He loves to say he was the one who stopped talking to me.
Wow.
That wasn't the case. I hung up on him because he threatened to kill himself again.
That would also be like coercion. So, you know, it doesn't have to be they threaten to kill another person. They could threaten to kill themselves if they don't get some like expected or intended outcome or whatever, which that's what it seems like he was trying to do. Oh, if you don't get back with me, I just might as well kill myself. So she, oh, no, no, don't worry. I'll get back with you.
Taja, when I killed myself this time, doop, 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 just went ahead and hung up because I was over it. I was fed up with him using that to manipulate me. His dad texted me. These were the agreements that they made. Here are the agreements that they made that they texted me.
Good morning, Taja. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing well with you and the baby in LA, and baby girl in LA. Moving forward, Blank will continue to provide for his daughter's monthly necessities and maintain her medical coverage. His priority is her happiness and security, and he's dedicated to upholding that. $1,000 per month will be sent to cover any expenses Leah may have, and he will additionally send diapers, wipes, clothing, etc., to ensure she has everything she needs. He asks that there be no form of communication between you at all this time. His goal is to co-parent in a healthy, responsible that doesn't lead to healthy co-parenting. In the future, he hopes things will be able to smooth out and more visitation can happen. Additionally, please confirm you received payment sent to your mother in the amount of $750. Uh, I guess it's for some coverage of something. I can barely read that what she on the bottom part. Um, and then she said, I asked that he send my money from my companies that I need to finish out because he also never does that unless I ask him to. I truly respect your feelings. The father is saying this now. I truly respect your feelings, and I'm hopeful that 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 you both can find common ground for the sake of you all daughter's future and stability. The agreement, I believe, was always to be amazing co-parents. No, to put the past behind and to focus on a platonic friendship moving forward. I hope that you'll reconsider your stance so you both can align your efforts and do what's best for Leah. She deserves the best of both her parents working together. Sending positive thoughts your way. This is crazy. These people are disgusting.
At first, I didn't even want to take it because I had been through so much with him that it was just like, I don't even want to deal with this. This is what he was supposed to do. He said that he was going to send $1,000 a month with diapers, with wipes. He has only ever sent me two payments. One, I believe, on May 30th or May 31st, that's basically for June, and the other one on June 30th, which is for July. Those are the only two payments he has ever sent me. He also sent diapers and wipes, which were the wrong size, and wrong diapers and wrong wipes that Leia wears, but it's whatever. That was part of his agreement. At least he sent in something. I had nothing to even complain about. Cool. I believe it was right before I filed for my restraining order. We had to go pick up our things. Leia and I had to go pick up our things from the apartment in Los Angeles. He had Leia's belongings sitting on the parking garage floor. He was so, so, so adamant to show how much he hated me that he threw all my belongings just all willy nilly into a box instead of neatly packing our newborn daughter, who was 3 months old. 3 months old, not 6 months. Not 6 months. You were not consistently visiting for 6 months. That is not true. You had our 3-month-old daughter's clothes sitting on the parking garage floor because you would have rather used the boxes to show that you packed my things very disrespectfully. Considering how often he tries to spin things, spin narratives, and also talking to his dad too, who basically tried to set me up in text message, which is really foul considering how kind I was to every single one of you. I needed to get my restraining order because it had just
Get a restraining order against the whole family at this point. They all in cahoots.
become way too much at this point. Like, it was a lot, you guys. I'm not even being dramatic. It was a lot. I filed for my restraining order. When I filed for my restraining order, I don't even put anything about child custody in there. I understand that it's very easy for him to lie with people who are very unfamiliar with the process.
I just hate how I'm listening to her story and it's everything she's saying makes perfect sense. Like it flows, you know what I mean? Like you could just tell, like this is like an honest person, right? But I just hate how these stories are so common and then men will try to gaslight me and everybody else when, and try to tell us like women be manipulative and the baby mamas be so difficult. It be the baby daddies. 99% of the time. Y'all got to stop fucking lying, man. Y'all got to stop lying, man. This is common. What's happening with her is common. This is common. Bitter baby daddy syndrome, common. DDG, common. Iman Shumper, common. Common. Like, where are all these examples of the bitter baby mamas making life difficult for the men, threatening to unalive themselves, abusing them, putting their hands on the men's? Like, come on, man.
Processes of restraining orders. But if I had nothing to prove, I have 2 hearings. When you file for something, when you file for restraining orders, you have 2 hearings. They only allot, I think, 15 to 20 minutes to listen to you. I have too much stuff for them to look at in 15 to 20 minutes. That is why we are going to trial. If I had nothing to prove it in court, they would have threw my shit out. That is not how that works. He's been lying about that for months. That's not how that works. No. We get to, I believe it was the second hearing. His parents had come out with him to that hearing. And again, I don't have a lawyer. I didn't think I needed a lawyer. I wasn't lying. I had everything that I needed. I wasn't familiar with the court processes. I'm not a girl who be in and out of court and in abusive relationships and mixed in with the cops and things like that. My life is not like that. So Miss Bitter over here, I'm Miss Bitter now. At the second hearing for my restraining order, his lawyer asked for, instead of professional supervised visitation, unprofessional supervised visits with his parents and my mother. They asked for every other weekend. I didn't have a lawyer at the time. I didn't even hesitate. I was like, yeah, that's fine. I didn't hesitate. You can see your daughter. Your parents, I'm not even going to get into that, but yes, they can see Leia. I have never, ever, ever tried to make it difficult for that man to see his daughter, ever.
Again, stop lying on these women's talking about they be making it hard. They don't. They don't. This is all I promise y'all, this is all I've ever seen. It's hard for me to believe anything else. I swear to God, this is all I've ever seen. Her story is, I've heard this so many times. Y'all gotta stop lying. Y'all gotta stop lying, man. We gotta stop lying about this. This is so frustrating to listen to. All these fucking lies. Listen to all these lies this man was telling on this woman.
He has had supervised visits since May of last year until now. This past weekend, when he seen her, that was his 4th visit. He has only seen Leia for a total of 34 hours since May of last year, actually since April, because he didn't see her before I filed for my restraining order either.
I'm telling you, he on that DDG shit. I'm gonna show y'all something in a minute.
I want you guys to sit with that. He has only seen Leia for a total of 34 hours since I applied for my restraining order, and he has always had unprofessional supervised visitation.
I bet anything I know, because I know every time he with Leia, he probably put her on camera. I bet he recorded. I bet anything.
Because I agreed to it at my second hearing. And because of the fact that what he has done to me is so heinous, they gave him professional supervised visitation at first. It was me who agreed to the unprofessional. So at the time, after I had applied for my restraining order and got approved for my temporary, they had set my trial because I had too many things for a hearing and we had to go to trial. They had set it for November. Here are the dates that were available for him, sent directly from his lawyer, from the email. These were his visitation dates. Now they're just going to the trial, but then he filed for his own restraining order that I cannot talk about my experiences on social media. His whole thing was about social media.
Yep.
Since we already had a trial going with my restraining order, they went ahead and attached his restraining order to mine, which then made it a 2-day trial and moved the restraining order trial back to January 1st and January 2nd, which was when we were supposed to have our trial. Now, here we go. He's been talking about long court processes and how it's me and like filing. I have only, in the entire of this process, filed one time. I have only wanted one thing for my protection. One thing. So take those dates. I'll show you.
So would she be wrong if she was to be like, I don't want him anywhere near our daughter after he has repeatedly said he was going to take his own life? I mean, let's say she believes him, which I don't believe him, but let's say she just on the off chance that he's telling the truth. Why would you allow that man? And I'm not saying this about her. I'm saying like if she wanted to, that's like, why would you allow that man to be around that baby? But this be the shit I be talking about when men be like, see, these women be making it hard on us. Cause look at how y'all be acting. She would be well within her rights. She is being above and beyond gracious and nice in this case. Above and beyond gracious and nice, without a doubt.
Them again. Those dates that he had every other weekend for his visitations, those were his visitation days. Now, they were for the first up to the first trial in November, because that's when they're going to discuss childcare and things like that, and custody and things like that, because it's attached to the restraining order. Now, extended to January when we were supposed to have our restraining order trial. We get to December and he files contempt on me. He files contempt on me saying that I have went against his restraining order and it's my pin post on my Threads account when I was addressing.
It has come to my attention that my abusive ex-boyfriend is walking around telling people he has a restraining order against me. My temp DVRO was filed in May of this year. He filed a retaliatory DVRO against me this month. And his request, so this is in August. So she did one in April, or May, and he did one in August. He filed a retaliatory DVRO against me this month, and his request was for me to not claim that I am a survivor of domestic violence and to also not speak to anyone about my experiences. People like him abuse the legal system to silence those they have victimized. I want to clear this up since the lies seem to continue. She added, I also want to encourage all his mindless minions to remind him to send me my money. Add financial abuse to this little resume.
the lies that he was telling on the internet after he applied for his restraining order. Unfortunately, with contempt filings and things like that, they're not like restraining order filings where you can go to a hearing and they can see if you don't have anything, they can throw it out. And no, you have to go through the entire process. So now the restraining order trial has been moved back to May 1st and 2nd. When everything has been pushed back, it has literally been because of him, not because of me. Now let's start talking about the visitations, right? Now he's done 4 visits, but before it was just 3 visits. He had only seen her for a total of 24 hours for those 3 visits all combined. I have the dates of those visits because I had to write down a synopsis of everything that happened during those visits. I'll go ahead and put the dates over here on the screen. But those are the only 3 dates that he has ever exercised. Now, there have been 2 times, one as of recently, and one time where we just told him last minute, and that was our bad. So he had his first visitation in July on this date. My mom was a supervisor of this visit. And she was incredibly uncomfortable because he was asking her questions that he was not supposed to be asking per the restraining order, amongst a lot of other things. And also, you're putting my daughter through all of this. You put her through all of this, and she has to be an objective supervisor. That's just how it has to go, right? It's a very uncomfortable thing. He goes to that visit in July. He comes back twice in August, one with his mom being the supervisor, one with his dad being the supervisor. After that, he did not exercise any of his parental supervision that was available to him. It has always been available to him. It has never been taken away. Now, there was one moment with my mom being the supervisor where it was after he filed for his restraining order, and we had let his lawyer know, like, my mom doesn't have the weekends off. And, like, me not saying that in court, they were able to try and like flip it on me and say that I'm trying to do this and trying to do that. And that just wasn't the case. And so I told him last minute that my mom wasn't able to supervise that visit. That was one time. Okay. It wasn't intentional. It was last minute. That was our bad on that part. But I haven't ever intentionally done no shit like that. We go to court in September. I believe it was for the second hearing for his restraining order, where they kept trying to say that I was harassing him on the internet. I was harassing him on the internet. That's what they were saying. I'm harassing him on the internet. And they gave him 1 extra hour, a total of 5 hours per day for his visitations, because he claimed to be broke. Literally every time he was not coming to see Leia, it's because he was saying he was too broke to see her. All while he was on YouTube, flying first class, buying expensive things, moving on his weekends. Majority of these videos that he put out were his weekends that he did not exercise. He was very quiet when he wasn't exercising his parental time. He was very quiet. He never mentioned her. He never talked about her. All of a sudden, he tries to see her on February 1st and 2nd. I have plans. I have plans because my baby is turning 1. You haven't come to see her in months. You don't send no money for her. You don't do anything for her. You don't send supplies for her. I'm no longer thinking about your visitation days. I honestly, at this point, don't expect you to show up. I don't expect you to show up. So, yes.
And remember, DDG was saying, I just want to be able to see my baby when I want to see him. Same shit. This dude doing the same shit. Like when on his time, which is abusive in and of itself, but also, I mean, it's just abusive, and they're just being selfish.
I had plans, but that apparently gave him the ammo to feel like he could run to the internet and now act as if his daughter is being kept from him, which is not the truth. Leia caught RSV. She caught RSV.
Damn.
I found out she had RSV on February 7th, literally at like 11 p.m. I found out, and we had her party on February 8th. I had to let people know at like 12 in the morning, 1 in the morning, that Leia had RSV. Leia and I did not show up to her party until 30 minutes before her party ended so that people can sing happy birthday to her, because I didn't want to get anyone sick. It affected everybody. He gets on the internet and he's like, yo, it'll never cease to amaze me how hard it is to see my daughter. You don't try to see your daughter. You don't ever try to see your daughter.
I'm sorry, I can't help but just keep drawing the parallels between this and DDG and Haley. And like, if Haley would talk, I bet you it would be just like this. Like, I bet anything, it would sound pretty much just like this. It just feels like this. Like, it feels exactly this. Like, this is crazy how men be really up here acting like they got it so rough and the women are being so incredulous and so unreasonable. Whole time, it's them. It's you, dude. You the villain. And you know it. That's the worst part about it. You know you're the bad guy.
Now you're making a big fuss because you could probably show people a snippet of an email, which, you know what? Let's go ahead. Fuck it. Let's post the emails right here. I'll go ahead and post the emails for you guys to see where my lawyer is.
Oh, damn, I can't even read it. Damn it. Y'all can pause to read it. I can't read it in addition. I already inform you that my client will not be available for visitation during the weekend of February 1st, as your client has not has not had any contact with the minor child for the past 5 to 7 months. My client has made other plans for the weekend. My client is deeply concerned. She got a lawyer now. That's good. About the proposed supervision arrangements, as she believes it may not meet the appropriate standards for the well-being of the child. 100% agree. She's just trying to protect the child. It is important to note that the minor child was only an infant at the time of the separation and is now just turning 1 year old. The extended period of separation has significantly impacted the child's ability to form a bond with father or his family. Given this, my client believes that any visitation plan should ensure a safe and structured environment for the child to establish a meaningful connection. Damn, I love how educated people talk. As an alternative, my client would propose agency supervised visitation. This would ensure that the child's well-being and safety are prioritized while also providing an appropriate setting for the father to begin rebuilding a relationship with the child in a professional, supportive environment.
Is literally telling him like, hey, can we do professional supervised visitation? Because at this point, this man is a stranger to her. He hasn't seen her in months. He hasn't even tried to see her in months. And even at the end of his lawyer's email, he's talking about how, oh, he's going to try to scrounge up some money. Still acting like he's broke. Leia gets RSV. He gets on the internet talking about she miraculously got RSV. You think I was outside with a glass mason jar trying to catch it in the air and give it to my...
Exactly what somebody said this I think it was today or yesterday. They were like, they said I heard somebody talking about how like, well, we're not gonna even get into how baby Halo got RSV. And I was sitting there like, you mean getting a fucking cold? Like, yeah, babies get sick. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? It's really common right now. Getting RSV is extremely common. I mean, what, she got this in February, but so what? Yeah, that's common. The fuck are y'all talking about? Y'all be looking for any reason to blame women for anything. The baby got a cold, so all of a sudden that's her fault. That baby would have fucking had the mumps if it was with the daddy though. Like, get the fuck out of here.
My baby, no, that affected all of us. I let them know that next week that Leia had RSV. She was going to have RSV regardless. I have things to do. I let them know as soon as possible, and I didn't even tell them they can't come anymore. I just said, hey, she got me sick. Like, she can get adults sick too. She has RSV, just letting you know. He canceled his weekend. He canceled that weekend himself. No one told him not to come. I have the email. So now we are here. He finally got to see Leia this weekend, and now he released a ridiculous video also coming at my dad and my family members when he constantly harasses my family members, my 16, now 17-year-old brother, on social media, cussing them out, saying sexually explicit things about me, texting my family, putting them in a group chat with his other baby mama. Because let's really talk about it. You have 2 children. You have a son. He just turned 3, by the way. He turned 3 in January. Leia has a brother that you know about, that you texted after sending my dad a picture of me, by the way, giving up the fact that it was yourself. On Christmas, you're texting my family from fake numbers, also texting the other baby mama, like just continuing to harass us, and then getting on the internet and claiming like you're this Christian and you're so God-focused and the devil is attacking you and this, that, and the third. Save it.
He the devil. He the devil. He the devil. But I want to show y'all this. So check this out. So this was his video from a couple weeks ago. This is video from a couple weeks ago. Look at him. That's their daughter. Obviously, she's the cutest baby on the planet. Yeah. So I told y'all, what did I say? What did I say? He gonna record everything he doing with his daughter, spending time with my daughter. Everything's with his daughter, about his daughter. Oh my God, he's spending time with his daughter. Look at that. The daughter he barely knows. Look at him. Up there go the mama. There go the, yeah. And what's he talking about?
But as you can see by the title, we got some major updates. We got some stuff going on.
This is the churchy side. You'll hear it. Watch. Here it goes. So fake.
And I just want to say and ask you guys this: how's your mind? How's your heart? And how's your soul? For me, my mind right now, it's getting back to the place that it needs to be. And a big factor of that is finishing out that gym that I'm going to show you guys here in a second. That has helped me literally get my mental clarity back, getting downstairs, working out, getting some blood flowing. And honestly, just getting back on the weights. I ain't been on the weights in a minute because I was training for my marathon, which went well. If you guys didn't see that vlog, go back and watch that. How's my heart? My heart is good. It is definitely in a place of figuring out how to understand why certain things happen and then being able to just process it and actually feel my emotions. So I would say my heart is in a good place. It still has some work to do because I get challenged and frustrated by a couple of things. And
You mean like you being a whole fucking terrible human being to the mother of your children or the mothers of your children and your children? Are you that thing that weighs heavy on your heart? It seems like it's you, brother.
I try my best not to like let it weigh on my heart, but at the same time, you're a human being, you have emotions and stuff like that. So it's good to process those emotions, feel those emotions, but not sitting them, if that makes sense. And how's my soul? My soul feels good. I want to go to the church house. I've been watching church online, and the last time I went was with Scotty. Dang, that was like 2-3 weeks ago.
Boy, if you don't.
Because I'll either be like going out of town or I have something to do, and then you just get caught up. You know, when you stop going to the gym for a while and then it just like it's a snowball effect, literally a snowball effect. When you don't go a couple of times, you're like, oh, bro, I just watched it on TV. No, I need to get back in the church house. But I would go this Sunday, but I'm going to be in Sacramento visiting my daughter. So it's just, yeah, I'll go next Sunday. Hopefully. I think I'm going to be here next Sunday.
Dude, I don't. If you can't like you watch Taj and then you watch this dude, like you watch Carlos, like man, it's so obvious that he is the person that she is saying he is. It is so obvious that he is the person that she is saying he is, without a doubt. With no doubt about it. It's very, very odd. Very odd. So yeah, I just wanted to share that story with you guys. Like I said, it's you know, it's hard not to believe the victims, man. I mean, they just come across way more genuine. I haven't heard his story yet. I did look for the video that she said that he posted. I didn't find it. He might have deleted it. He seems like the type that would. But yeah, this dude is terrible. This dude is terrible. So good luck to her and that baby. And his other baby, and the mother of his child too. Both of the God bless the mothers of his children and those babies. And you know, I hope he becomes a better human being, but it doesn't seem like he's trying to. So we'll see.